Hello everybody and welcome to another top 5 records video. Today we're gonna dive into the 70s. We're gonna continue the quest with top 5s per year, and now it's time for 1970. And 1970 is an awesome, amazing year because where you see that the 60s had these very rough edges, the 70s also, by the way, have very rough edges, but especially the year 1970 for me is the year of gentler music with way rougher lyrics. People who really have something to say. Now, I'm gonna kick off the list with our number 5, a beautiful gem, Rodriguez, Cold Fact. Now, I don't know how famous Sixto Rodriguez right now is, but over here in the Netherlands, after documentary Searching for Sugar Man, he truly became an even bigger name than he already was. Rodriguez is a singer-songwriter, and he functions on the level of Leonard Cohen and Bob Dylan. I mean, this man is a real competitor to these kind of guys. And Cold Fact is a genuine masterpiece. First of all, his lyrics. This man is gutsy. If you take a look at the opener, Sugar Man, it's full of mysticism. It's full of street slang, drug slang, and he just goes on and on and on. He's harsh. I mean, the way he pronounces the word bitch and comes back to it. But there's also gentleness in it, and there are the most delightful, inviting melodies. This is not the kind of a singer-songwriter or folk music like we're acquainted to with Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan, I love Bob Dylan, but Bob Dylan seldomly invites you into the music. Rodriguez, his voice, the production, it's beautifully produced. The melodies, the way he builds things up, he invites you. Once you put on this album, it is impossible to put it off because song after song after song, there are new stories. Clearly, he's telling a new story every song, but he takes you in such a small amount of time. I mean, a lot of these songs are about 2.5 minutes. Some are under 2 minutes, and it's incredible because so much is going on in these songs, and never too much. It's never a Sgt. Pepper's bombast of sounds. It's brilliance, sheer brilliance. On the number 5, again, 1970. What a year! This was the number 5 spot. Couldn't have been number 1 in any other year. But then again, not every other year has this record. Black Sabbath, Paranoid. I already talked about this in the top 5 Black Sabbath albums list. This thing is ballsy. It's brilliant. It's big. This album opens up with War Pigs, after Paranoid, Planet Caravan, Iron Man. Holy fuck, man. This with the other 1970 Black Sabbath album, Black Sabbath, birth of metal, the birth of metal. And if you're not into metal or not well aware of metal, same as with Sixto Rodriguez, these melodies are inviting. They just draw you in. It's sheer, utter brilliance. A great album. Now, on the number 3 spot. This is also one of my dearest records. The Plastic Ono Band album by John Lennon. And I think that lyrically, Lennon never made anything quite as impressive as this. As a matter of fact, rarely have artists made something lyrically as impressive as this. The album starts off with a very slow, almost relaxed vibe, the song Mother. But when he starts shouting out, you know that this tree, the nature, the calmness in the music is there to open up a shrieking and screaming of the soul, which is inwards. This is his, for lack of a better word, therapy album. Because therapy might sound boring to you, but not when John Lennon is thinking about his life. Not when John Lennon is getting rid of the hype of the Beatles. I mean, this album said so much more than a lot of the Beatles records. And I love the Beatles, but this has something to say. Start off with Mother, end off with the song God. Well, talking about bookends, this is one of the albums with the finest bookends. Nevertheless, the next album even has a bit better bookends. And you might be surprised to find this in the list. And if you haven't heard it, and I might imagine you haven't heard it, go straight out to the record shop. Do yourselves a favor and buy this rare gem. Melanie, Candles in the Rain. Now, for anyone who doesn't know Melanie was late 60s, quite the icon. She performed at the Woodstock festivals, she performed at the Isle of Wight. She was 19 years when she performed there, but she has, because she still has an impressive voice, the voice of sheer power. There is an energy coming out of here. I mean, the way she plays guitar, it's a nice bed for the most impressive, one of the most impressive vocal performances you will ever hear. Yet, if it's just vocals you're after, you can buy this album. But just the vocals are not the sheer key of this album. This is amazing writing. It kicks off with Candles in the Rain. Candles in the Rain is somewhat of a prologue towards the big song. It builds up to the song Lay Down Candles in the Rain, which tells the story of Woodstock. She wrote it after she performed in Woodstock, and she performed there while it was raining and people lit candles to keep the atmosphere going. And that song has such an incredible, beautiful quality. You might know it, it's a very, very big hit. There are more hits on this album. For example, Look What They've Done to My Song, Ma. Just go straight through your guts. The cover of Ruby Tuesday, it's very good. Now, all those songs were hits. I mean, this is a hit album. This is a bloody hit album. Yet, the best song is unknown. The first time when I bought the White Album by the Beatles on vinyl, that was in the same week I bought this album. Now, I took the White Album home, a friend of mine came over, and the friend of mine never heard this album, never heard the White Album. I put on the White Album, sheer brilliance, sheer, I mean, beautiful moment in life, of course. And then he said, oh, but can you still put on Melanie? And I thought, now, straight after listening to the White Album for the first time, Melanie in competition, I thought, he's never going to get into Melanie, because putting on Melanie after Beatles' White Album, it ain't going to work. And I put this album on. And for 40 minutes, we were in total silence. And after it ended, he asked me something which he did not ask after White Album. Can you put the last song on one more time? Because it's one of the best things, not only that I've heard today, one of the best things that I heard in my life. And that is the song Leftover Wine. Play that on my funeral. Play that on my funeral. Complete beauty. I've got goosebumps only talking about it. This album by Melanie, I think it's easy to find, but you won't get rid of it. It will stick to you and haunt you forever. Yet it's the number 2 spot. How am I gonna end this list? Well, with a legendary album. Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young. And, of course, Dallas Taylor and Greg Reeves, not to be forgotten, the album Deja Vu. Holding this in your hand is quite something. This is the first US pressing. The fold out, beautiful, beautiful. What do I need to say about this album? Every song is just a banger. It's completely amazing. So many great songs. When Neil Young joined, I mean, the album they made before this, Crosby, Stills and Nash, it's good. Crosby, Stills and Nash Young, it's even better. Like pour cheese on anything and it becomes better. Neil Young made this even better. Songs like Helpless, Almost Cut Off My Hair, which is Crosby, by the way. There are so many beautiful, beautiful songs on here. It is such a monument in harmony. What else can I say? Well, these are my 5 best albums from 1970. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Leave a comment below and see you in the next video.